Hi, 5th grade. It's Mrs. Gioka with your flipped math lesson for today. Today's lesson is 5-6. Today's objective is to divide a 3-digit number, so that's our dividend, with a 2-digit divisor and get a 2-digit quotient. So yesterday, all of our answers, all of our quotients were 1 digit. Today they are 2 digits. What that means for you is that all of your answers today are going to be between the numbers of 10 and 99. So that is a huge spread. So you're going to make sure that you use all of your strategies that we've talked about. So let's practice. Here's our first problem. So far, 467 tortillas have been made. They will be placed in packages of 15. How many complete packages will be made? So we have to find out how many complete packages will be made. We're going to be using the numbers 467 and 15. Here's our equation. 467 divided by 15. Our first step is to estimate. We're not going to do any guessing here. We're going to be using our brains. So we're going to estimate the answer. To estimate, first thing we're going to do is find compatible numbers. We're always going to start with the the divisor to find what our good estimate is going to be. Now 15, for some people, might not be a good compatible number, but for me, it's fine because I know the multiples of 15. All the multiples of 15 that I need to know are 15, 15 times 1 is 15, 15 times 2 is 30, 15 times 3 is 45, 15 times 4 is 60. If you know your multiples of 15, then this is easy for you. If you don't know your multiples of 15, you're going to need to find a different compatible number that's close to 15. Now, after I've done that, I can find my compatible number for the dividend, 467. Now, I'm always going to change this number to 0, and I'm left with 46. 46 is not a multiple of 15, but 45 is. So I'm going to change 46 to 45 and bring down that 0 too. So I've got 450 divided by 15. Now I just use my division skills. Remember, whenever I'm dividing something with a 0 in the dividend, I can just divide the numbers that are not 0 first and tack on the zeros in the end. So I've got 45 divided by 15. 45 divided by 15 is 3. I'm going to tack on that 0. I get 30. So 450 divided by 15 is 30. So my answer is probably going to be 30 or really close to 30. Now I can go do my division. I'm not going to do any guessing because now I've got a really good place to start. So my problem was originally 467 divided by 15. I'm going to start with the first two numbers. 46 divided by 15. I know that 15 can go into 46 3 times. 3 times 15 is 45. If you need to, you can do it over here on the side. Okay, 45. 46 minus 45 is 1. Bring down the next digit, 7. 17 divided by 15, I can do that 1 time. 1 times 15 is 15. Subtract, and I get 31 with a remainder of 2. Now remember, the problem asked us how many complete packages will be made. Well, only 31 complete packages will be made. There'll be 2 more tortillas left over. After we have divided, then we double check. 31 times 15, so I'm going to multiply these numbers that are on the outside of the division box, 31 and 15, and then when I add my remainder of 2, then it should equal 467. Let's check. 31 times 15. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Put a 0 for the placeholder. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Add those together. 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 1 plus 3 is 4. 465, but don't forget we had our 2 remainders. So we get 467. That's our number that we have right here, our biggest number, which is our dividend, and it happens to be the same number. Good job. Let's try another one. 985 divided by 47. What's the first step? Did you remember that the first step is estimation? I hope so. So first we're going to estimate 985 divided by 47. 47 is not an easy number for us to divide by. So we need to choose a good compatible number. Now you can either choose 40 or you could choose 50. Either way would be fine. I'm going to go ahead and choose 50 for this time. Whoops. Grab the eraser. I'm going to choose 50. I'm going to divide my dividend by 50. So I have 985. And I have to find multiples of 5. I know that all the multiples of 5 always end in a 0 or a 5. Anything that ends with 0 or a 5 is a multiple of 5. So what I can do with 985 is actually change it to 1,000. I'm going to change it there. It's actually closer to 1,000 than it is to 900. So I'm going to change it to 1,000. Then because both of these numbers have zeros on the end, I can take off one of the zeros, divide by 10, take off one of the zeros. Now I have 100 divided by 5. That kind of reminds me of money. If I had 100 cents or $1 and I divide by nickels, how many nickels would I get? I know that there are 20 nickels in $1. So it's going to be close to 20. 20 times 5 is 100. If you didn't know that, you could just do some quick division and find the answer. Okay? That works too. But I already knew it was 20. Now I'm ready to divide. No, my answer is probably going to be close to 20. 20 is my estimate. So I'm going to start with 985 divide 47. I'm going to use those first two digits, 98. So I think it's probably going to be 2. So let's find out. Let's over here on the side, let's do our multiplication. Whoops, 2. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So 94. And subtract. I get 4. Bring down the next digit. Now I have 45. Can 45 be divided by 47? If I had 45 cookies, could I give them to 47 people? No, I could not. So that is going to be a 0. 0 times 47 is 0. Subtract. And 45 is a remainder. Okay, so my answer is 20 with a remainder of 45. Double check. Don't forget that remainder there. I'm going to be adding that on in a minute. So whenever I have zeros, remember you can just put a 0 for the placeholder and then go on to the next digit in the tens place. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So we get 940 plus 45. Now we have 5, 8, 9. 985. Let's see if that's what we started with. 985. All right. Let's try one more. 678 divided by 33. Let's find our compatible numbers. Remember, we're always going to find compatible number with the divisor first. It's doing the dividing, so let's find its compatible number. 33 is really close to 30, so I'm going to change it to that. Then I have to find all my multiples of 3. I know my multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, and so on. Okay. Then I'm going to change this number to a compatible number, 678. Now, there are different compatible numbers that you could change it to. You could change the whole thing and round it to the hundreds, or you could round it to the hundreds and the tens. Whatever is easiest for you. I know that 6 is a compatible number with 3, or a multiple of 3. So actually, I could just keep that 6. 7 is not a compatible number, so I could round it down to 6, and then divide 660 divided by 30. Okay? Now I'm going to take off the zeros off the end, divided by 10. Now I have 66 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so 66 divided by 3 is going to be 22. So I bet my answer is going to be very close to 22. Now if I had rounded it to 600 divided by 30, my answer is going to be very similar. I have 60 divided by 3. 60 divided by 3 equals 20. 20 and 22 are awfully close. Let's see which one gets us closest to the real answer. Okay, so my estimate's going to be about 22. somewhere between 20 and 22. Let's find out what it is. 678 divided by 33. So I'm going to do this first two digits, 67 divided by 33. I'm going to try 2. 2 times 33 is 66. Subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. 6 minus 6 is 0. Bring down the 8. 18 cannot be divided by 33. So I'm going to put a 0 there. 0 times 33 is 0. Subtract. And I get a remainder of 18. Ooh, so you can see that my answer is 20 with the remainder of 18. That's close to my second estimate of 20 when I rounded that number down to 600. That's interesting. Now we use multiplication to check. And don't forget that we're going to use our remainder of 18 at the end to add that on. So I've got 0 in my ones place, so I can put a 0 there for the placeholder. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And then add on that 18. 6 plus 1 is 7, and then 6. 678, that's the number that we started with. So we're doing well. All right, now it's your turn. Remember to pause the video, try it on your own. Remember to estimate, divide, and then double check. Here's the first problem. 298 divided by 16. Here's your second problem. 292 divided by 23. All right, let's go back and check, see how you did. 298 divided by 16. We're going to find some compatible numbers. I'm going to change 16 down to 15. Remember, I know those multiples of 15. 15, 30, 45, and 60. And I think that's as high as I need to go for this problem. So I need to find a multiple that is going to start with these numbers. Now I'm going to change 298 to a compatible number. Boy, that's awfully close to 300. 300 starts with 30, just like my compatible numbers here. Okay, so I'm going to divide 300 by 15 and see if that gives me a good estimate. Now remember, when we divide numbers with 0, we can just tack them on at the end. Well, I can't take off both of them because I can't divide 3 by 15, but I can divide 30 by 15. 30 divided by 15 is 2, and then I'm going to tack on 1 0 at the end. 15 times 20 equals 300. So 20 is going to be my estimate. I'm going to put that up here. You know what? I'm going to erase everything. 20 was my estimate. Okay, so I have 20 is my estimate. My problem was 298 divided by 16. I think my answer is probably going to be close to 20. So I'm going to start with 29 divided by 16. Let's see if 2 works there. 2 times 16. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. 32. 32 is not going to go underneath 29. I can't subtract 32. So it must not be 20. It must be a little bit less than that. I wonder if it's 19. Let's try that. Let me erase here and see if 19 works a little bit better. So I'll try 1. 1 times 16 is 16. And subtract. 9 minus 6 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. Bring down the next digit, 138. Now, my best guess is that's going to be a 9 because that would be the next digit, 19. So 9 times 16. So over here on the side, I'm going to do 9 times 16. I'm not guessing. I'm using like a really smart guess, an estimate about what it's going to be. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 5 is 14, 144. It's a little bit too high. So let's make the next best guess, 1 less than that, 18. (18 times 16). 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Put in my placeholder. 1 times 8 is 8, and 1 times 1 is 1. Whoops. I just realized the mistake I was making. I was multiplying it times 18. I didn't need to multiply it times 18. I just need to multiply it times 8. See, sometimes teachers make mistakes too. It happens. Sorry. 16 times 8. You're probably sitting there going, Miss T, what are you doing? That's what I was doing, making a mistake. 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 more is 12. 128. That looks like something I can subtract now. 8 minus 8 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I have 18 with a remainder of 10. Now I'm going to double check and make sure that it all works out. Okay? So I'm going to multiply those digits on the outside and see if they add up to the divisor, or the dividend, I mean. So now I'm going to do 16 times 18. And then I'm going to add on my remainder at the end. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. Put in my placeholder. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Add it all up. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So now I have 288, but I have to add on my remainder, which was 10. So I get 298, which is the number that I start with. So I know I have the right answer. Did you get the right answer too? I hope so. Let's try and check the last one, and then we'll be done. 292 divided by 23. Got to change that to a compatible number, so I'm going to change that to 20. I like those numbers that end in 0. They're easy for me. So I need to know what are the multiples of 2 to figure that out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm going to take 292 and make that a compatible number. And I'm going to change that 29 to 28. And then I have 280. So then I'm going to take 280 divided by 20. Take off the zeros by dividing by 10 immediately. Now I have 28 divided by 2. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So 14 is likely to be my answer, or really close to the actual answer. Let's make some space and do some dividing. 292 divided by 23. Start with 29. 1 times 23 is 23. And subtract 9 minus 3 is 6. Bring down the next digit, 62. Now, my answer up here is 4 for the next digit. Let's see if that works. 4 times 23. 23 times 4 over here on the side. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 92. Whoa, that is way too big. Let's see if it is 13 instead of 14. Whoops. I guess I didn't need to erase that, did I? Let's try 13. 23 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. So I've got 69. Still a little bit too big. So what am I going to change that number to? If you said 2, you're right. Change that to a 2. 23 times 2 is 46. Subtract that. Looks like I'm going to have to do some borrowing. 12 minus 6 is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. I have nothing else to bring down, so I have 12 with the remainder of 16. Okay, let's double check and see if we're right. We're going to do 23 times 12, and then add on those 16 and see if we get the right answer. So 23 times 12. Remember, we multiply these numbers that are on the outside, then we add on the remainder. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. Put in a 0 for my placeholder. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. Add it all up. 6 plus 0 is 6. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then nothing plus 2 is 2. Add on my remainder, my 16. Ooh, running out of room. 6 plus 6 is 12. So add on 1. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And then 2 plus nothing is 2. So 292